Salutations, Scrub family. What is good? It's Zapp, coming in at you with the latest and greatest hottest spice coming from 3XG Productions. As you may know, in about 5 weeks, we will be getting the World Martial Art Tournament Power Boosters. Bunch of sick cards in the set. I don't know if you've checked them out yet. You should do so. A lot of those leaders got a buff, and I think the community in large is looking at this Pan, Hercule, Vidal, Uub deck as the center point of that. This is a list that I've had since the day after we saw these cards previewed, and I've been having a lot of success with it. I think it's undefeated in Game 1 so far, and while the deck certainly has opportunities for improvement, I think this is a great skeleton to play off of. So let's go into the deck. For those of you that may not be too familiar with the Uub leader, generic leader, unawakened, draw a card when you swing direct, untap 2 when you flip over. Uub knowing power, being able to pick up a card from life to bounce a battle card on the opposing field has definitely come up when you're looking at boss monsters like Demigra or Grade 8 Vegeta or 6-drop or 8-drop Broly. Being able to pick up a life to bounce that battle card to hand is huge. What I really like about the leader, though, is that when you're about to go in for game, it's really easy to utilize that leader ability. Let's say you're at 4 life and you want to go for lethal. Let's say they're at 2 and you have a Hidden Kai in your hand. Pick up 3 life. Now you're up to 30k. Swing in, drop the Hidden Kai. 40k double strike. All in. Pretty impactful leader, surprisingly. So as we go into these power boosters, there are 2 new cards that are pivotal to this deck's success. Vidal, Proudest Mother. For those of you that don't know what the card does, if on turn 2, if your opponent doesn't have any battle cards on board, you can play it for those 2 blue energy. At that point, you can take a Hercule, Proudest Grandpa and play it from your hand for free. And then at the end of the turn, you can search your deck for a Pan, Proudest Daughter and play them in field 2. So for 2 energy, you're setting up Hercule and Pan. So that's 7 energy worth of cards. And then when you have both of those cards on the field, the Pan hits the board, Hercule hits the board, and that lets you draw 2, untap 1, and you have a 25k dual attack double striker on board for essentially 1 energy. It is really good. So you go obviously to get this turn 2 every single game, and luckily they printed the best tutor in the game in the same color. Dende, Astute Savior. When you play it, you're able to look for any World Martial Art card, turn 5 or less. It can be Goku, it can be Uub, it can be Hercule or Pan or Vidal, whatever piece you don't have for your combo. It can even be Hidden Kai. Even in decks that don't have a World Tournament leader, you can play Dende in to get Kai. Imagine playing blue in a Masked Saiyan deck, being able to play Dende, Astute Savior, and pulling your Kai so your leader next turn can go, 25k double strike or whatever the leader wants to do. Getting Matadio to make sure that you can stop Height of Mastery when you use that counterplay ability to tap Height of Mastery so he gets nor 1 nor 2 swings in. Very impactful card. So, the combo itself, as I said, Hercule, Proudest Grandpa, 3 costs with Barrier. You get 1 of these on board, you sit on it. Sometimes in Magical Christmas Land, where you have like multiple beans in your hand, and you're untapped. Sometimes you get 2 Hercules on board, and when you do that, and then you play a Pan, you end up with 4 energy, or untapping 2 energy and drawing 4 off a single Pan. As you know, the Goku to Uub, we play copies of both of those. You'll see that I do something a little abstract and I play 4 copies here. The reason is there's a really popular play here with Dende's secondary ability, which you pay 2 energy, you KO the Dende, and then you can search your deck for your hand, so for anything 3 costs or less, and warp it, and then that card comes into play for free. So what you can do is, say it's turn 3, you can play the Dende, search your deck for an Uub, remove from the game, it'll come to your hand at the beginning of the turn, and then pay 2, taking a Goku in your hand and warping it. And then at the beginning of your next turn, both of those cards will be warped. You can pitch which effect comes first. You'll put the Uub in your hand, you'll put the Goku in play for free, and then you'll play the Uub that you just put in your hand for free. And being able to do that for 2 energy is loco! Pan Protostarter, again, dual attack, always, double strike whenever Hercule's on board. And while the pump won't increase if you have multiple Hercules on board, the ability to swing multiple, or to draw multiple cards and untap multiple energy, they do stack. Vegeta Jr., the heroic successor, is one of the coolest cards that come out. Essentially, this makes every World Martial Art deck 46 cards. Because what you can do is you can, when you draw it, just put it underneath, replace it with a new card. Almost think of it like running Dragon Balls in a non-Dragon Ball deck. But you have the perk of being able to charge it or combo with it if you need to. So it's a card because a lower deck size equals more consistency. As a wise Marcel Russell once said, deck thinning is deck winning. And this card is a flawless version of deck thinning. As an added perk, you don't have to lose your deck size out, so this doesn't punish you against mill either. I tech 1 copy of Goku Jr. Heroic Successor. This is just a backup plan. Ideally on 4 you're playing a second copy of Pan, but when you have it, it's a cool way. You get 2 19k attacks, or you get 4 19k attacks for 3 energy, and you untap an energy. And the Goku has double strike, the Vegeta has dual attack, and it just works really, really well. Other than that, you have a standard defensive package, Dimension Magic, straightforward. We only play 3 Sensu Beans right now. You know, I can see the argument for a 4th, but right now a lot of the decks we're expecting in the format, Green Broly, Skillless, Vaku, Vaku Ramp, Baby Vegeta, those decks go tall. They don't necessarily go wide. So Sensu Bean loses a little bit of value. Play-by-Play Pro, we play 3 copies. We don't necessarily need to open with it, but there's some really cool opportunities to draw with it. My favorite is on turn, let's say on turn 2 you don't play Videl, but you get it by turn 3. You can play Videl for 2 energy. You can play Announcer right beside it and draw 2 cards right away. Standard Infernal Villainy Cell, Unbreakable Goku stuff. And then 1-dimensional Banisher Food, just to have something to take advantage of Overwhelm with. Other than that, pretty straightforward deck. So when you're playing the deck, the goal here... So as I said, ideally turn 1 you have some combination of Hercule or Dende. So like in this case, say we charge Dimension Magic and we'll play Dende for free. We have the Hercule, so we're going to search deck for Videl. Videl comes into play, warped, and then we'll say I pass. I'll take 1 damage, this one with their leader. Awaken, I draw a card, this comes to hand. So the trick here is for Videl to get played for free, you don't have any battle cards on the field. So let's say you swing with the Uub and you draw a card. You'd combo away the Dende, go to 15. And now you're in a situation where for 2 energy, you can play Videl. Videl plays Hercule for free. And then at the end of the turn, you look at every card in your deck. We'll go to Pan. Pan hits board. That lets us draw 2 because of Hercule and untap 1 with Videl. Let's say it's our turn again. Maybe we take 1 damage and then we use this damage to do a Unbreakable Son Goku. Draw for turn. So turn 3 there's a couple of different things you could do. So in this situation, sorry I forgot to put that Videl on the bottom of the deck. So one common play here, if we had Goku and Uub, would be to play, Goku Uub respectively. Announcer play-by-play could be a cool play here to draw 2, but if you didn't have that, what I would like to do is that Goku play I was telling you about. So let's say you have a Dende in your hand. We'll play 1 for Dende. Dende's effect will trigger. We'll search deck for a... actually, we have the Uub, so let's say we got a Goku in hand instead. So we would warp the Uub. And then we would use this leader ability. We'd pay 2, put this in the drop. We would warp the Goku. Then we swing with the Uub, do whatever. And then defensively, let's say we Dimension Magic. We'll take 1 damage, and then we'll use this cell to get a negate in. And so we're like 4 life. So then turn 4 starts, and this is where things get pretty nutty. So before you charge, that Dende from last turn triggers. Goku hits field, Uub hits field, you'll bounce 2 guys. Right now, I think the ruling is going to be that you actually can't even Cold Bloodlust this Goku based on the timing with Dende, but we haven't heard an official ruling on that. So these 2 cards hit board. We would charge here. We could use Vegeta Jr., draw a card, put a card at the bottom. But now we could do something like Pan Proudest Daughter, draw 2, Uub Awaken, untap 2, swing with a Pan, play 2 beans, untap 2, draw 2. So swing once, swing twice, and then maybe we go Play-by-Play Pro, draw 2, and then we would maybe swing Leader. At this point, if we think we can threaten with game, maybe we'll use the Leader ability, draw 3. We could use Vegeta Jr. here, draw a card, go on the bottom. And then at this point, you still have so many options. Play-by-Play Pro for draw 2, Vegeta Jr. draw 1. And then we could go with third Play-by-Play Pro, draw 2 more. And then we wrap it up with Dimension Banisher Field. And I know I'm just kind of slamming cards on the board right now, but you get the idea of, on turn 4, just how nutty these plays can be. Even if you didn't want to go all off on the battle pumps, let's say you just stay at the 4 life. You still have Dimension Magic. You have 1 super combo, 1 pseudo combo, 2 super combos to help you survive. And then next turn, again, you can do all this all over again, right? You can play Pan for 2, 4, Vegeta Jr. as a draw and put on bottom, Sensu Bean. It adds up so quickly. You can see how many cards are on board. I know this is just a quick sandbox, but you get an idea of how crazy this deck can be. It reminds me a lot of the mono yellow decks like Shigesh, where if you don't draw the Cronoa, the yellow deck goes all in on you. If you don't get to TN against this Uub deck, it can be really hard. So what I've done with the side deck, at least for this version, is because TN is the silver bullet for this deck, I think about siding into a red version. So I have 4 copies of Foreseeing Hit. As you see, we have Unbreakable Gokus. Planet M2 is great against the Dark Power Black Mass Saiyans and the Borgoses that can punish your plays. So it just makes sense to enter those cards, Foreseeing Hit and Planet M2 being the best answers to your opposing cards. And as long as you get rid of those silver bullets, then you're in an amazing shape. Cards like Mass Saiyan, Tien, Cronoa, Goku Uub, just kind of anti-meta options. There's a lot of power in the deck. It's incredibly formidable, and just based on the game ones, I think this deck is going to be one of the best decks in the format. Now in a best of 3, where people are bringing in 3-4 TNs against you, I'm not quite sold on that yet. We haven't tested enough to see how impactful that's going to be, but I have a lot of faith that this deck is going to impact the format. Thank you for your time. Hope you enjoyed the deck profile. Hope to see more from 3XG Productions on the video, on the Patreon. Definitely check us out if you haven't already. And we will see you next time. Okay, bye!